This video is brought to you by Sony. Learn what happens when artists meet engineers.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a PlayStation Conversation. I'm Greg Miller, and this is the Tech Tower.
Hi.
Scott Lowe. Scott Lowe, we got a big week ahead of us here. Thursday, there is an event happening over in Europe. IGN UK, they got this invitation, right? It says, you're invited to this exclusive breakfast briefing with PlayStation. The invitation reads, following the biggest launch in PlayStation history, join us for an introduction to the slimmest. All it says, Scott Lowe.
Yeah.
We don't know exactly what that means.
Could be anything.
Well, but really, Scott, it's got to be the PlayStation Vita Slim. All right, that was good. Like, good job, man. We are just right here.
Hamming it up.
People often call you the Slim Greg Miller, so this is a good conversation.
This is a good juxtaposition.
Right. We don't know what this is. We know nothing about it, other than there's an invitation that came to the UK, right? So maybe it's just a European event. I'm willing to bet if it's coming out there, it's coming out here.
Yeah, I mean, it's unclear, you know? Like, it would make a ton of sense. I mean, obviously, Europe is a huge market in and of itself. Like, there's, you know, Sony has every right to invest there.
Yeah.
But, you know, so far we haven't heard of a corresponding US event, so it's possible that it could be European availability only for the Slim, but with any luck, they'll know that, like, people in the US are just as interested in that they're either shortly thereafter or at the same time announce that it's going to be
So in a nutshell, to bring everybody up to speed if they've missed your review, over in Japan, there's the PlayStation Vita Slim.
Right.
What is it? I got the notes here. It says 20% thinner, 15% lighter, no OLED screen. Instead, they got LCD, which makes it cheaper.
Yeah.
Better form factor.
Yeah.
We enjoy that.
Yeah.
Now, that's why we're putting that as the #1. It's already something that's out there, right? It could easily be ported over here. We're saying no to a PlayStation 4 Slim because the PlayStation 4 just came out and it's
already really slim.
Like hotcakes.
Yeah.
It's already really slim.
Yeah.
On top of that, then you have the PlayStation 3.
Sure.
Probably not the PlayStation 3. This would be the third version of the Slim. I don't know why they'd make an event about that.
I don't think they really need to stimulate the PlayStation 3 market with
they just need
Slim.
to bury it.
Yeah.
Get guy
Only direction is forward,
now.
Greg.
Right.
Yeah.
So then it's PlayStation Vita, but then in second place, a maybe, right, is the PlayStation Vita TV.
Yeah. I mean, so that's the big mystery. I mean, Vita TV is this weird enigma that's kind of, you know, in a lot of ways it was a way to satiate the Japanese market because the PlayStation 4
thirsty for Vita.
Well, because the PS4 doesn't even come out until next month.
Yeah.
So like in Japan. So it's one of those things, you know, at the time it seemed like, you know, hey, we're not forgetting about our Japanese fans, like we're gonna, you know, continue to support them. Here's a new product for you to like dive into and really get excited about, and of course the remote play functionality. But, you know, the verbiage here about, you know, Slim really kind of puts it firmly towards this. I mean, it's a 2-hour event too, so I mean, it could be...
Well, to walk through this beauty, there's so many features you need to talk about. 2 hours is never enough.
Yeah. So, I mean, it could be, obviously, you know, some of that, or a good portion of that could be like hands-on time, who knows?
Right.
But, you know, so it definitely seems like Vita Slim is a prime, you know, target. I think, you know, we've already reviewed the thing based on this, and
What'd
I would
you
imagine...
give it? Right on the spot.
I don't remember the score.
All right, but you really liked it. We'll put the score up here.
Yeah.
That's what he gave it.
Yeah, it's going to be right in your hand.
Right there.
No, I mean, I can't remember the score off the top of my head, but I really did enjoy it. I think, you know, there's a lot of concern about the elimination of OLED, the screen, changing it from OLED to LCD. Personally, I think the benefit kind of outweighs the negative of like reduced, you know, color presentation. Like, I think really what you get here is an extra 2 hours of battery life in my testing. That's what I found. So, I mean, that is already a good enough reason to switch. I mean, even if it means that the picture's not as pretty looking.
Sure, I mean, you and I bought them the same time when we were over in Japan together, and I love how light it is. I love the form factor. The battery, for me, I've been putting it into airplane mode, and it now just keeps charged like nobody's business. I'm always ready to go. Plus, we talked about it a second ago, the touchpad, right?
Yeah.
Smaller touchpad, bigger finger holds. That was one of the big problems with the original Vita, right? Is that you had to have like the claw fingers, and then you'd bump it all the time. I think it's just a better system overall.
Yeah, and I think, you know, there's not a real good chance that it's going to be any different, really, for the US or European models.
I bet we don't get as many cool colors.
Yeah, well, that's always the case. You know? The Japanese always get the cool colors. But, you know, the only real difference between the Japanese model and the US version is the orientation of the buttons, or the assignments. So like, O is X and X is O. Like, but otherwise, it's the form factor will likely be exactly the same. The feature set, all of that.
Let me play devil's advocate.
Okay.
I'm sure a lot of people have already put in the comments on this video, oh, PlayStation Vita is dead. Why would they do this? Why would they do this?
So, I mean, the consumer benefit is obviously the battery life, the additional, the extra slim form factor. But I think really what it is more of a business move. I think what this does for the Vita is makes it cheaper to produce, which obviously makes the ARM more successful for PlayStation as an endeavor.
Right.
And by association allows them to invest more in its development and potentially promote more games. So I think it's more about sustaining the health of the Vita, kind of making it cheaper and more accessible for people, but also kind of generating more revenue for Sony so that they can continue to justify it and continue to develop it. And then more importantly, I think when the cost comes down for the unit, what it allows them to do is potentially do stuff like PlayStation 4 bundles, because obviously it is such a big extension of the PS4 with remote play.
I mean, it's one of those things we joke about the Vita, oh, there's no games, or you joke about that, and then me and Colin get really mad and try to defend it. But it could have a really big 2014. If it's cheaper, right, then you figure it's already got the Trojan horse of the PlayStation 4. Right. Well, Mom, I have this PlayStation 4, but I get all these games from PlayStation Plus, I'm leaving money on the table.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get that, but then, Borderlands 2, Minecraft, there are games coming to it that make it really enticing to a core gamer.
Yeah, and then you look at stuff like PlayStation Now, that's coming down the line, and it supports Vita, so you're going to be able to play, Last of Us on your Vita if you want to, and it's independent of your PS4. So even if you're just a Vita owner, you have, perhaps the entire catalog of PlayStation 3 titles to play on your Vita. So, it's pretty exciting for that.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we find out Thursday what is going on with that Slim announcement. Make sure you keep coming to IGN, but before you go, let us know in the comments, would you pick up a PlayStation Vita Slim if it came to your English-speaking territory? Why or why not? Then, make sure you keep coming back to IGN for all the breaking PlayStation news.